am B. Janardhan Reddy. In this video, I am going to show you the ray diagrams for convex lens. We draw the ray diagrams in order to know the position of the image formed when the object is placed in front of the convex lens. Okay, see here. There are 6 possible cases in drawing the ray diagrams for convex lens. That means in 6 different positions I am going to place the object in front of the convex lens and I will draw the ray diagrams for them to locate the position of the image formed. Okay, so here see, there are 6 possible cases in convex lens, and in all the 6 cases I am going to use only these 2 rays. The following 2 rays are used to draw all the ray diagrams for convex lens. You can take any of the 4 rays I already explained in the previous video to draw the ray diagrams for convex and concave lenses. And here I am taking the following 2 rays, and I already showed you the behavior of these rays in the previous video for both convex lens and concave lenses. Okay, so here I am taking the following 2 rays to draw the ray diagrams in all the 6 cases. Okay, see here is the ray 1. I call it as R1. A ray traveling parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it will pass through the focus on the other side of the lens. This is the first ray I am going to take from any point on the object. See here, we have to draw 2 rays from any point on the object in order to trace the rays to locate the position of the image formed. So this is the ray 1 I am using. I already explained you the behavior of this ray in my previous video. Okay, and ray 2, the second ray that I am going to use to draw the ray diagrams is ray 2. A ray passing through the optic center is undeviated. So these are the 2 rays that I am going to use to draw the ray diagrams for convex lens. In this video, I am going to show you only the ray diagrams for the convex lens, and the next upcoming video I will show you the ray diagrams for concave lens. Okay, so here I am using a mnemonic called LOST, L-O-S-T, in order to remember the properties of the image easily. Here I am using one particular order, so you can write whichever the order you want, but here I am giving a convenient way to remember the properties of the image. So the mnemonic used here is, see here, mnemonic to remember the properties is LOST, L-O-S-T. L means location, that means where the image is formed. Orientation means is the image inverted or erect. Size means is the image magnified or diminished. Type means is the image formed real image or virtual image. So LOST, lost. So in each case I am going to write the properties of the image formed in this order only. Okay, so see here is the case 1. That means convex lens ray diagrams I am drawing here. Case 1, object is at infinity to the left of the lens. That means here is a convex lens. To the left of that lens an object is there which is at infinity. See here, this is the convex lens. Let us locate the points, various points of this lens. Here P is the optic center, and this one is the principal axis, you know that. And here C1, C2, F1, F2, C1, C2 are the centers of curvatures, and F1, F2 are the focal points. Suppose if this lens is showed, if this lens is shown towards a distant object, say trees, vehicles on the road, like that. So the rays of light from the object at infinity will become parallel when they approach to the lens. See here, these are the incident rays which are parallel, and they are traveling even parallel to the principal axis and falling on the lens here. So these rays are coming from the object at infinity to the left of this lens. This side object is there, this side it is at infinity. Okay, so when the rays from the object at infinity reach to the lens, they become almost parallel to one another, and these parallel rays are falling on the lens here at different positions. And you know that this is the first ray which is parallel to the principal axis. After refraction it will pass through the focal point. So all the rays will pass through the focal point after refraction. See here, all these refracted rays are crossing one another at focal point. That means wherever the refracted rays cross one another themselves, at that point image will be formed. Suppose if this lens is shown towards a distant tree, its image will be formed here at the focal point. So when the object is at infinity, its image will be formed on the other side of the lens at focal point here. Okay, so let us observe the image, properties of the image. Let us write. First we have to write LOST. L means location. We have to write where the image has been formed. Location we have to write first. So image has been formed at the focal point on the other side of the lens. Next, orientation. Is it inverted or upright image? See here, it is the inverted image. Tree is like this. So image is inverted image. Okay. Next, LOST, size. It is highly diminished. The size of the tree is very large compared to the size of the image. And type, is it real image or virtual image? See here, if you obtain a screen at the focal point, you will get this image on the screen. That means this screen can be obtained on the this image can be obtained on the screen. So this one is a real image. So here is the image. Let us write the properties of the image formed here. Properties of the image. First one is the location, where the image has been formed here, formed at the focus on the other side of the lens. Inverted, you see here, orientation is inverted. Highly diminished, that is the size of the image is too small to compare with the size of the object. And real, because this image can be caught on the screen. Okay. Next, case 2. In this case, I am bringing the object slowly toward the lens. See here, in this case object placed beyond the center of curvature of the on the principal axis. Object placed beyond the center of curvature on the principal axis. See here, you know, this one is the convex lens, P is its optic center, okay, and this is the principal axis, and C1, C2 are the centers of curvatures, and F1, F2 are the focal points. Let us place a candle beyond C, this side. Here I am going to place a candle. Okay, so this one is the object OB. So what is OB here? OB is the object. So where its image will be formed? To know the position of the image formed in this case, we have to take only two rays. From any point on the object, you can take those two rays. Those two rays you can draw from any point on the object. So whatever the two rays I have explained just now, those two rays I am drawing from the point B. See here, ray 1, a ray traveling parallel to the principal axis. After refraction at the lens, it will pass through the focus on the other side of the lens. That is the first ray, that is ray 1 or R1. And the second ray from the same point B passes through the optic center without deviation. Okay, now we have to trace these two refracted rays. Let us see here, I am drawing the first ray. This is the ray 1, I am drawing from point B, and this ray is traveling parallel to the principal axis and falling on the lens here, and this will get refracted here, and the refracted ray will pass through the focal point on the other side of the lens. You see here, this is the first refracted ray. Okay, and let us draw the second ray from the same point B. This is ray 2. It is falling on the lens at the optic center. We have already known this. Any ray passing through the optic center is undeviated. So this ray will not suffer refraction here. It will travel in the same direction like this. It is undeviated. This is the second refracted ray. You see here, we have to trace both refracted rays. This is the first refracted ray. This is the second refracted ray. These two refracted rays are crossing themselves one another at this point here. Okay, so here image will be formed. That's all. This is the image. So IG is the image formed. Now observe very carefully. When the object is placed beyond the center of curvature, its image will be formed on the other side of the lens between focal point and the center of curvature. Between F and C, image will be formed. Okay, so let us write the properties of the image. See here, you can easily identify whether the image formed is the real image or virtual image. This is the logic I am telling. Whenever refracted rays meet themselves, whenever refracted rays cross one another themselves, at that time compulsory real image only will be formed. Okay, so whenever refracted rays do not cross themselves one another, but they cross by extending them backwards, at that time virtual image will be formed. Okay, so here these two refracted rays are crossing one another, hence here the image formed is the real image. It can be caught on the screen. Okay, so let us write the properties. IG is the image here. I am writing the properties. Lost formula, LOST, lost means location where the image has been formed. In this case, image has been formed between F and C on the other side of the lens, and you can see it is inverted image, diminished. If you measure the sizes, the size of the image is lesser than the size of the object. So it is diminished. Diminished means small in size. And real image, okay, we can obtain this image on the screen. Now case 3, object placed at the center of curvature. You see here what I am doing, I am moving the object slowly toward the lens. At that time what happens, image moves slowly away from the lens. You can observe this thing here. And this one is the convex lens. Here P is the optic center, this one is the principal axis, and C1, C2 are the centers of curvatures. And you need to remember one thing here, while showing the focal points, they should lie exactly between P and C. Okay, so here F2 and F1 should lie, you have to locate exactly between P and C. Okay, then only you will get the position of the images correctly. Now I am going to place the object, that is a candle, at the center of curvature on the principal axis. Here I am placing. Okay, so OB is what here? OB is the object. Now let us draw the same rays from the point B. The first ray, which is traveling parallel to the principal axis. See here, this is the first ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis and falling on the lens. It will suffer refraction here, and the refracted ray will pass through the focal point F1 on the other side of the lens. Okay, so this is the first refracted ray. Similarly, let us take the second incident ray from the same point B, which passes through the optic center. We know that a ray passing through the optic center is undeviated. So this is the second refracted ray. See here, this is the first refracted ray, this is the second refracted ray. Okay, these two refracted rays are cutting one another, or crossing one another, or meeting one another themselves. So here image will be formed. That means this point of crossing, this point of intersection is the image of the point B. That's why here image is formed like this. Okay, so can you tell what type of image? Is it real image or virtual image? Obviously it is a real image. Let us write the properties of the image formed here. LOST, lost location. See here, when the object is placed at C, its image will also be formed at C only on the other side of the lens, and it is inverted image, same size as that of object and real. So this is very important case. Object and image, object size and image size both are same when the object is placed at C on one of the sides of the lens on the principal axis, and its image will be formed at C only on the other side of the lens. And if you compare their sizes are also equal. Okay, and real image, because this can be obtained on the screen. Okay, next case 4. Now I am going to place the object between C and F, that is object placed between the center of curvature and focal point on the one side of the lens. This is the convex lens, and P is its optic center. You know, this one is the principal axis. You may observe here, in all the cases I am taking only those two rays I explained just now. So C1, C2 are the centers of curvatures. F1 and F2 are the foci or focal points. Now I am going to place the object between C2 and F2, that is between center of curvature and the focal point. Previously I placed the object at C2, image was formed at C1. Now here I am going to place the object between C2 and F2, that is center of curvature and the focal point. This is the candle that I have placed. So OB is what here? OB is the object. Same two rays from the same point I am drawing. There is no deviation. So see here, OB is the object. Let us draw the first ray, ray 1, a ray traveling parallel to the principal axis, falling on the lens. After refraction, it will pass through the focal point. This is the first refracted ray. Okay. Next, second refracted ray. You know, I am going to draw the second incident ray through optic center. This is ray 2. Because it is passing through the optic center, it will not get deviated. That's all. Now observe very carefully. This one is the first refracted ray and this one is the second refracted ray, and these two refracted rays are crossing or intersecting themselves. That means at this point, that is the image of point B is formed here. Okay, so image of point B is formed here. So the image of the whole object will be formed here. That's all. This is the position of the image. Okay, IG is the image. Now let us write the properties of the image formed here. Last location where the image has been formed, in this case, image has been formed beyond center of curvature on the other side of the lens. So here object is placed at one side, image is formed at the other side. Okay, so here image has been formed beyond C, beyond center of curvature on the other side. Okay, see here, that is the location, orientation, inverted, size, magnified image. The size of the image is bigger than the size of the object. You see here, if you measure the sizes, so it is magnified image. Magnified means bigger in size, larger in size. Next, type, LOST. Type means, is it real image or virtual image? Real image only, because refracted rays are meeting themselves or crossing themselves one another. So let us write the properties of the image formed in this case. Properties of the image, where the image has been formed, in this case formed beyond C on the other side of the lens, inverted, magnified and real image. Okay. Next, case 5. Object placed at the focal point. Okay, I am moving the object slowly toward the lens. At the same time, image is also moving slowly away from the lens on the other side. So P, this is the convex lens, P is its optic center, and this line passing through optic center horizontally is called as the principal axis. We have known all these things. C1, C2 are the centers of curvatures, and F1, F2 are the focal points or foci. Okay, focus singular, foci plural. Right, now I am placing the object at focal point F2. Now, here OB is the object. Let us see where its image will be formed. Same two rays I am taking from the same point B. Let us draw the first ray from point B. Here OB is the object. Ray 1, which is traveling parallel to the principal axis and falling on the convex lens. Here, this is the first incident ray, and you know how does it get refracted? Okay, this is the first refracted ray which is passing through the focal point on the other side of the lens, convex lens, and this one is the second ray which is passing through the optic center and will not get deviated. These two are the, see here, this one is the first refracted ray and this one is the second refracted ray. Observe very carefully, these two refracted rays are almost parallel to one another. Okay, so these, if you extend these parallel rays up to infinity, they may not meet. Okay, so here image is ambiguous. We do not know whether image forms to the right side of the lens, that is on the other side of the lens, or on the same side of the lens. One may extend the two rays backwards because these two rays cannot meet if you extend them forward. So one may extend backwards like this. So see here, properties of the image formed at infinity. Here the main thing is that the image is then ambiguous and imperceptible because neither the rays refracted through the lens nor the ray extensions behind the lens to cross to form an image. See here, if you extend these two rays forward, they may meet at infinity. If you extend these two rays backwards this side also there is a possibility that they may meet at infinity. That means here image is ambiguous. We do not know whether image is formed, if it is formed, on which side it is formed. That's why it is ambiguous, imperceptible. See here, these are the extensions of the refracted rays. These two extensions also do not cross one another if you extend them up to infinity. So when the object is placed at the focal point, we say that image is ambiguous, that is unclear where it forms. Okay, and the final case, this case is very important case because in this case only a convex lens functions as the magnifying glass, Okay, so case 6. Let us place the object between the focal point and the optic center, that is F and P. This is the convex lens. P is its optic center. This one is the principal axis. C1, C2 are the centers of curvatures F1, F2 are the focal points. Okay. Now I am going to place an object between F2 and P, that is between the focal point and the optic center here. This is the candle I have placed. So OB is the object. Now here I am taking the same two rays, I am drawing the same two rays from the point B. The first ray which travels parallel to the principal axis and falls on the lens and gets refracted and passes through the focal point on the other side of the lens. This is the first ray. It has fallen here and it will get refracted and passes through the focal point F1 on the other side of the lens. Next ray, this is the second ray which is passing through the optic center and it goes undeviated. That's all. So observe very carefully. Let us trace the two refracted rays here carefully. This is the first refracted ray and this one the second refracted ray. These two refracted rays, if you extend them forward, their separation gradually increases. That means we can assure that they never meet this side. Okay, they never meet, even they are extended up to infinity. Okay, so this side image will not be formed. On the other side of the lens, image never forms. Now see here, what we have to do in this case, we have to extend them backwards. Let us extend them backwards. See here, note, the refracted rays do not cross to form the image, but when they are extended backwards, they meet and forms a virtual image. See here, I am extending this ray backwards and I also extend this ray backwards. You see here, that means why I am extending these rays backwards means if you intercept these rays appear to be coming from this point here. These two rays appear to diverge from this point here. That means the image of the point B is formed here. Okay, so we cannot see this image. An observer can only see this image because we cannot obtain this image on the screen, isn't it? So all virtual images cannot be caught on a screen. So if an observer comes and intercept these rays, he feels that these rays are diverging from a point behind the lens here, that is on the same side of the object here. So at this position, at this point, this is the point where image of the point B will be formed. Okay, see here. Here is an observer. That's all. How nicely image has been formed here. So he can only see this image, isn't it? He cannot see this object because these two refracted rays are appearing to be coming from this point here. Hence, he sees this image only. And this image cannot be seen by us. We cannot see this image. Okay, so this is called as the virtual image. So when the object is placed between P and F, its image will be formed on the same side of the object at the least distance of the distinct vision, that you will learn later. Okay, so this is the sixth case, and this This one is the most important case because in this case only a convex lens functions as a magnifying glass. Okay, so let us write the properties of the image here. So Ig is the image, observer sees only this image, just now I have told you. So here are the properties of the image formed. Where the image has been formed, location is formed on the same side of the lens, you see here. And erect, this image is the erect image. Erect means upright, not inverted image. And magnified, you see here, the size of the image is larger than the size of the object. And virtual image because it can be only seen, and we cannot obtain this image on the screen. That's why it is called as the virtual image. And moreover, you should remember, a virtual image will be formed when the rays are extended backwards, when the refracted rays are extended backwards so that they meet. At that time virtual image will be found, because these two refracted rays never meet if you extend them forward. So what we have to do, we have to extend them backwards so that they are crossing one another here, and here image will be formed. Okay, so these are the ray diagrams for convex lens in 6 possible cases. And in the next coming video I am going to show you the ray diagrams for concave lens. Okay, thank you.